Okay, today we are gonna add a timer, control the two light. Okay, this light and this light. Okay, the problem is that because it's in the daytime it's dim, sometimes you switch on and you forget about it. So we're gonna set a timer that will work in the evening till early in the morning, and then after that there will be no supply to these two. Okay, two light. Okay, the easiest way is to replace the switch which control the light. Okay, this switch to a smart switch, but this is a two gang, so in effect you have to replace both. Okay, what is a smart switch? This is a smart switch. Okay, provide a pulse to on the circuitry to control. Okay, basically you replace the whole thing. That will be done, but you still need a router for the smart switch and Wi-Fi. So a bit problematic and a bit troublesome. So we go for a manual one this time, and we change it at the breaker. Okay, this is the packaging of the smart switch. Okay, next we need to identify which breaker the light connect to. So we switch on the light, and then the light is on. Okay, and we go to the breaker side. So I have already previously checked, so I know which is which. So this is the one, the first one. Now confirm back at the light to see that they've already switched off. Okay, now the two lights have been switched off. Okay, next we remove the cover. Okay, this is 6 Phillips screw. Okay, so it's, I don't know if you can see. Yeah. Okay, so it's indicated. It's not a pull screw, it's just a latch. Turn half clockwise, anti-clockwise, anti-clockwise, and clockwise to lock and unlock. Okay. And then the corner can be removed. Okay. These are the respective holes for the latch. Okay, next we inspect all the breaker. Okay, first thing first, off. Okay, and then we need a test pen to test. Okay, everything is off. Okay, good. So this is the breaker we are interested. Okay, if you can see, there's one cable going in here. So this cable is alive. That means, okay, let's explain the breaker. Main power will come in through this 3-phase, and then will distribute out. And each one, you see, the yellow, this is actually a live wire that supplied the whole breaker. Okay, the breaker is the live is powered by a MCB bar, which is here. So this is a whole bar, so that it's easier. Okay, and then the output from here, from the breaker, current coming out, go to the light. It will go all the way to the light, to the switch first, which is here, and then the switch will go all the way to the light, which is there. Okay, so it only control or only cut off the live wire for this kind of switch, or in fact all the light switch are connected this way. So using a smart switch, right, you lack a neutral wire to connect to the smart switch, so you have to buy special kind of neutral without neutral smart switch, which is actually not quite safe because it just dim the light rather than to cut off totally, because they still need the current to supply to the switch itself, and then the switch will dim the light outside. Then the light had a neutral line that will all the way return to this. This is a neutral bar. Okay, so it will actually correspond. So it will go out from here, go out, cut back here, one loop. Then you can control the light. Okay, so we are gonna break off this from here, the switch, go to the timer, which is over here, and then this cable will have to go over to the timer. Okay, later, step by step, I will show. Okay, now we start to the connection. Okay, so this is the breaker. This line go to the light. So this will be transferred to the timer. So what we need is remove this line. Okay. Okay, so this line. We have to push it down. Okay, for the timer. Okay, we'll be putting next to here. So this will be going through the. Let me hook up first. Okay, this will be something like that. Okay, so this cable go to the output of the timer. Okay, and you need to from the output of the breaker go supply to the breaker, output out, go back in. So you need another cable. So this will be this way. I'll show you. So this output from the breaker itself come down from behind. Okay, we connect this way. From the breaker, it came over, okay, supply to the clock itself, and then it jump over, supply to the light. Okay, so when the breaker off, everything off. Okay, so this is the input to the clock. Okay. So now we still have the neutral to turn. This is to power up the clock itself. Right. So the switch is just this cable connected to this port position. Okay, below one is the input, then this extra on top one output to the light. Okay, we've added a neutral to power up the clock or the timer. Okay, so this will go into the neutral port. I don't know whether you can see it. Okay, but this is the neutral port. Okay. So let's run the neutral. Okay, I'll tidy up and then I'll show you. Okay, the supply from breaker and then the neutral breaker is all ready. Okay, in fact the light is already connected. Okay, so now we connect the neutral, so the clock will be powered, and then left with only the outgoing to the light. Okay, I'll do it and then I'll fix it up and show you the final result. Okay, now the ground, the neutral return for the clock or the timer have been done. Okay, likewise the supply have been added. Okay, and then parallel to this, the input of the switch, this timer switch, and then this output connected to here, it will be done. So everything will be done, finished. Okay, I'll show you the final connection later. All the connection done. Okay, now that the connection has been done, okay, let's go through how it's connected. Right, I think during the installation time, it's a bit too messy. So now everything done, it's easier for you all to understand. Okay, this is the original breaker, and then originally the output should go all the way to the light, Okay, but instead we jump it through and then come to this timer switch. So the cable inside actually go into the input of the timer, which now you can see clearly the live. Okay, and then at the same time the live jump over to the switch portion of the timer. So it's through this U shape, and then finally from the lights, from the light, yeah, this actually go to the light output from the switch. Okay, so the neutral, actually you have added one more line. Okay, it's tightened. Okay, we've added the neutral, and this line actually run all the way from behind, tracing it down into the neutral, which is this port. Okay, so that's it for the whole thing. Okay, now we will test out the circuit. Now the circuit is on. Okay, so the timer will not kick into effect. Okay, so we should see all the light on. Okay, so let's on the breaker. Okay, all on. Okay, light is on, and the light is also on. Okay, so now let's off it through the timer. Okay, we should have off everything. Okay, off. Okay. So that's operating correctly. So now let's set to the time. Okay. So let's set it to center position, which is the clock. Okay. And then we wait till at night, okay, to see the result, this evening. But let's see what's the time now. We set it correctly. Okay, 2:45. Okay, set. So tonight we will see the result. Okay, all done. Let's cover up the casing. The cover, sorry. Basically, you need some wire, okay, for the neutral and for the live. Okay, the live is not red because that face they use yellow, so I keep it the same. It's about 2.5 mm cable with it's only a 6M MCB miniature breaker, so 6M should be more than enough. You also need a
wire cutter to strip the wire, wire stripper to strip the wire cutter, or a normal cutter will do. Some tape in case it's not enough, the cable, the wire inside the breaker is not long enough, you need to lengthen it using this or this. You can use a tape to insulate. Then the most important thing, two tools you need, it will be a cross head screwdriver. This is to open the panel, and then a test pen which can be used to test for live cable and also to tighten the wire. Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Okay, the switch is on. Let's see whether it fits. Work should be another 15 minutes. Okay, but I'm going out for dinner. You see the light on and it's working. Okay, bye bye. See you later.